Well, it's that time of the week again when we get to talk about brand new VR games coming out this week, brand new VR games coming out next week, and of course all of that juicy VR gaming news. But before we dive into today's video, I want to thank today's channel sponsor, Eva AI. Struggling with stress, tough decisions, or just need someone to talk to? Meet Eva AI, your personal, judgment-free support system in virtual reality. Available now on MetaQuest, Eva uses AI for cognitive behavioral therapy to help you through your thoughts, build healthy habits, and find clarity anytime, anywhere. With the new Therapy 2.0 update, each session now ends with a personalized feedback for real takeaways you can use in your daily life. Now, Eva AI is not a licensed therapist, so this shouldn't replace professional medical care. If you do need that, of course, go and consult your doctor if needed. You can start your free trial today because your mind deserves that attention too. You can find links to that in the description or of course the pinned comment. Massive thank you to Eva AI for sponsoring today's video. I think it's very important for us as men and as women to be able to open up and talk about our emotions, feelings, and just the stuff that gets us down in the day. Mental health is such an important thing to look after. It's like any other muscle in the body. You would look after any other thing in your body, so look after your mind. It's just as bloody important, and sometimes it can't be obvious that you need to talk, but you always do. So take this stuff seriously, and of course, like I said, whether this is your first step going to be able to talk to the AI, might be your first welcoming into this, and maybe it leads to more in the future. Just take those steps. Look after your mind. It's bloody important. New VR games this week. First up, we have Hidden Memories of the Garden Between. Now, this dropped on a Quest yesterday, and I've got to say, it really surprised me. This one is absolutely a stunning game, but not just that, it's a really fun story. Now, I will say this, it's quite a short game, but what you get out of it is pretty damn good. Now, it has like pretty compelling story that I don't really want to ruin, because I feel like you should be able to experience this for yourself, but just know going into this, it's a really solid story, really solid mechanics, and on top of that, it just delivers what you'd expect it to. I just kind of wish it was a little bit longer so that it could be, you know, a bit more value for the money, as I don't think it's going to have a ton of replayability. It's probably a one and done situation. VR gaming news. Next up, we have On Loop. Now, this is a really cool, unique sort of puzzle style game. We've had a couple of these in VR before. Essentially, the idea is that you go in, perform a task, and you then leave that same minion doing that task over and over and over again, while you then have to go through with a bunch of different yous, completing the other tasks until you complete all of the loops of different things that you need to do, and have all of those different dummies performing those sort of motions, basically to get you through to the next side of the puzzle. Now, we've had a couple of things like this in VR. It works really, really well. And it's a very simplistic but fun and addictive type of game to be able to play, so I'm actually looking forward to this, and I think it'll probably do quite well for itself. Next up, we have the Ancient Dungeons new update. Now, this is going to be coming to PSVR 2 users, PC and Quest users. This is a brand new mage class, which comes with new weapons and a bunch more stuff that's going to be updated in the game. Now, if you're unaware of what Ancient Dungeons is, this is a phenomenal game, which is basically just a roguelite done in a style where it kind of feels like you have stepped inside of your SNES, because it's a very pixelated art style and everything, but damn, it just works so well. This game is incredibly well executed. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend that you do, because it's a solid game. And like I say, if you already own it, this just gives you another reason to jump back in, because you've got that brand new mage class now to play with, new weapons, and a bunch more inside. Next up, we have Into the Black. Now, this is a game that's been out on Quest for a little while, but now it is getting the full-on visual treatment, and it's coming to PSVR 2 and PCVR. This has had a massive visual upgrade and is going to run at a native 90, so for all you PSVR 2 users, that just means you get all that freaking beauty without any of the ugliness. So hell flipping yeah, I cannot wait to experience this game in its true frigging glory. As always, the PSVR 2 users and PCVR users get that lucky day when it comes to that, because they just get the visual fidelity that we all dream of being in standalone at some point. But yeah, if you're unaware of what Into the Black is, this is a phenomenal game where you can go into it either solo, you can do PvP, or you can do it where you go in as multiplayer. And in this game, you're going to be going in and doing some mining, exploring, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't really want to ruin, but I'll let you guys discover it when it comes out very soon. Next, we have Arcane Age. Now, this was an absolute stellar game that came out at the beginning of this year for PSVR 2, and now that is making its way to Quest, so we're doing a reverse of what I just said about, but nonetheless, they have done an incredible job of making this visually stunning for a Quest game. Now, Quest users out there, you probably haven't maybe heard of this game so much because it was a PSVR 2 game exclusively at the beginning, but now this is coming over to Quest, and oh my god, this is such a good game. It's actually criminal. So I am very, very excited about this coming over to Quest. I will definitely be covering this on the channel. So very, very excited about this. The developers, props to you guys and gals for making this freaking happen. And more than anything, Quest users, get ready, because this is probably going to be a game of the year type situation coming over. It's already well up there in my game of the year so far. And well, now that it's coming to Quest as well, it's going to make it even easier for me to recommend to people. New VR games I'm hyped for. Now I want to add a new section to this game where I talk about new VR games that I'm personally hyped for. So it's just going to be a little mini section of a couple of games I just wanted to highlight, draw your attention to, and get you ready as they come out, as these are things that I think you should be hyped for and their releases. Kicking that off, we have Deadly Deliveries. Now I have spoken about this game in the past, but again I want to bring it back up because I'm actually really excited for this. In this game you're going to be working with a bunch of friends to basically go and drop off deliveries, but there's a twist. As you go in there, everything's going to be different each and every time you do it. It could be knocking on a door and an ogre grabs you from in there and eats you, or perhaps something even more terrifying. Not only that, but you and your friends can terrorize each other at the same time. Perhaps you'll be the only one to escape. I really like the look of this. I feel like it's got a lot going for it, and it's just something I'm genuinely quite intrigued about. Next up we have Crossings. Now this is actually quite a new one that's only really just been announced. I don't think I've seen a busting amount of people talking about this just yet, but it's got quite a unique sort of game style to this. Now essentially I think this is a roguelite at heart. You're going to be able to go in there with either just yourself or with a companion as well, so you can go in as a co-op. The idea behind this, same as all roguelites I guess, is get as far as you possibly can before dying and progressing to get better and better stuff to be able to go back in with on the next run. It looks really interesting as this one sort of based around sort of like a Viking sort of style thing, and not only that, the combat styling in this is kind of like Until You Fall, where you're basically sort of like hacking and slashing in certain patterns to be able to work your way through killing the different monsters in different styles. You can also use magic and some other things as well. It just looks pretty damn interesting to me, and it's one that I'm looking forward to trying when it does come out. Last up, I had to talk about Forefront today, and that's because, well, the Battlefield 6 beta has been out for this weekend. It's coming out, and if you had lucky enough like me to get access to it, then you know you've been able to play it earlier in this week as well. Now I am really just stupidly looking forward to having a game like Battlefield in virtual reality, and that is Forefront. In this you're going to have the different classes that you can play as. You can be squirrel shooting across the map, jump into different vehicles, and of course have different classes of people that you can go in and play as. This game just looks like it has it all, and I am personally just so damn excited for this. I cannot wait to get into something, like I say, that has that BF vibe to it, but you know, upgraded essentially, because you're in VR doing this whole experience. The only thing that I don't think it has, but I kind of wish it did, is destructible buildings, because I feel like that would add a crazy layer to this game. But nonetheless, one I'm looking forward to. Let me know guys if you want me to keep this section in the Friday videos, because I'd be interested to know if you do. But I just want to highlight maybe 3 games a week where I actually talk about stuff that I'm excited about playing, and yeah, stuff that maybe hasn't got new news on it, but just stuff that you should be aware of and be excited for, rather than making an entire other video about this type of stuff. Coming up next week. Coming up next week we have World War Z. Now I can actually tell. Coming up next week we have World War Z. Now I know a lot of you are saying to me I should say Z. Well, I'm sorry, but it's what it's bloody called. I know I'm British, but don't dig me out over it. Anyway, World War Z is coming out next week, and well, I've had the opportunity to actually play this early, so I can give you a little bit of an opinion now. I was planning to hopefully release a full review of this today, but you know, I have this video in place, so maybe I'll release it over the weekend, but you guys and girls can let me know in the comments down below. You looking forward to a review for this? Would you like one specifically from me, even though you're probably going to get a bunch of them come out today anyway, but I would like your opinion on that down below. What I will say is this game so far, from what I have played of it, is pretty damn impressive. It actually surprised me a fair bit, because there is a lot of moving in this, there is a lot of interesting stuff going on. The gun mechanics are really fun, the zombies are pretty damn fun. It kind of feels a lot like Arizona Sunshine in many different ways, except for there's a lot more zombies on screen at some points. The only thing I would say is there's not a lot of zombie destruction, as in the sense that like you're not going to get the satisfaction of like blowing them limb from limb and chopping them up into pieces and doing all the kind of psychopathic stuff that you can do in Arizona Sunshine. Is unfortunately missing that element, but it's kind of more about the horde element and just destroying a bunch of Z's in this game, and I feel like they did it pretty well. Now, like I say, I'll give you a full review of this either next week in the next week's video, or of course if you want I'll do an actual full independent video just talking about this, but let me know in the comments down below. And last but not least, we have Frost Survival VR making its way out to both Quest and PCVR next week. Now, this is a survival game where you can play either solo or co-op. As I said, survival, so you're going to be surviving out there. Can you survive this? Well, I mean, that's determined really by you and your survival skills. Of course, in this one, you're going to be out in these snowy lands, which I think adds a pretty fun element to this. I do like a survival game, so to me, I'm looking forward to this. I have tried this one in its beta form, and it's definitely been fun every time I've jumped into it. So now I'm looking forward to seeing this in its more completed form and, you know, available to everyone to get out there and play. And there you have it for this video, guys and gals. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I really appreciate that of all the people on the internet that do these types of videos, you spend the time with me to enjoy this. I mean, I kind of feel like I conceptualized this specific video, but it seems to have spread its way out into the internet now, which just means it's a good thing, I suppose. So I really do appreciate that you choose to spend time with me on this one, so I appreciate that. If you did enjoy this, then please do consider smashing that like button, subscribing if you are new, and of course, tell me in the comments down below what you're going to be playing this weekend. Maybe if it's multiplayer, you might catch me in there, so you might make me want to play it as well if you share with me what you're going to be playing. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.